Should we do this? I mean, we're kind of late, but let's go ahead and do it. Stand by,
Yeah,
Jay.
sorry for holding you up.
No,
We're late because of my meetings.
Well, let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
Welcome to Beers with Nigel.
Were you impressed, by the way, with that open?
It's pretty cool. Like, Nigel, is that your voice? Who does the voiceover? Is that you?
No,
doing the
actually, it's Smooth Jazz number 2.
It's Smooth Jazz number 2.
Shout out to Jonathan Theobald.
How did you bribe him to do that, by the way?
Well, you know, it's a weird story how I met our little voice guy. I was at a brewery on the Sunday, and I heard this voice, and I turned around. I was like, well, "It's not me."
did like the sky open up? Oh, yeah, angels singing.
Yeah. He has a wonderful, wonderful voice. Wonderful. Shout out to Jonathan. That's my dude right there. Anyway, it's Beers with Nigel. It's a show about other things, beer and other things.
Boy,
this is the thing. What happens when you pregame before the podcast? Yeah. You know, Nick had a meeting.
I had a meeting that included drinks,
and then
Nigel and I had to have a meeting of our own that included drinks.
It was beer. It was beer. It was fine. It was fine. But yeah, welcome to the show, J.C. Willams, right out of. Are you in Delaware? Where the hell are you at?
Delaware. I'm Connecticut. First of all,
my bad.
Delaware. That's like.
Basically, he just said all those East Coasters look alike. Is what he just said.
Everyone makes fun of Connecticut. Then, I think that might be the newest low. The newest low is that somebody confused Connecticut with Delaware.
My bad,
that's cool.
my brother.
Nah, it's cool. It's fine. It's all good fun.
Well, you know, it was. You know, who else was from Connecticut? M. Sauter.
M. Sauter.
Do you know M. Sauter?
Pints and Panels.
I know who she is. I met her once. Yeah, I know who she is. Yep, follow her on Twitter.
She came on the show. She's very, very smart.
She was awesome.
She's very smart. She did an Instagram live today talking about a beer style. I was like, man, I just got smarter. I got smarter.
Well, I watched it and I was like, I hope I'm smarter. I hope I can remember these things.
So before we introduce you, you said you have a beer. What are you drinking? Because we have one listener that if you don't tell him, Junior, he gets persnickety. What do you got?
He gets mad if you don't tell him what you're drinking. I'm drinking a beer from Kent Falls here in Connecticut, ironically in Kent Falls, Connecticut. It's called Edited Volumes. It's an imperial stout aged in rye and bourbon barrels.
Oh, whoa.
By the way, I just fell in love.
Yeah, wow. That sounds amazing.
They made it once, and I'm waiting for them to make it again because it was pretty fantastic.
They need to make it again, and then we need some beer mail.
Well, beer karma, as we like to call it. Nick, what the hell did we get?
What have we got?
Shout out to the Blues, our friends that have been traveling the country for the last 4 years.
They're on year 4 now.
Year 4 in an
Airstream.
Wow. Yeah, they're living their best. I hate that phrase,
but they really are
living their best lives.
But they really are.
I hate them.
I also hate that phrase.
It's so
it's a horrible phrase, and I just want to say too that while I love them, I hate them.
They're awesome. They brought me beer.
They are super awesome people, but I hate
what we got there?
This is Laughing Sun Brewing Company.
Out of where?
Grandma's Cupboard. It is hang on, I'll get there. Bourbon oak aged smoked vanilla porter. They are. Where are they from?
Yeah, all the things.
I don't know where they're from.
I thought they were.
Bismarck, North Dakota.
Well, shout out to Bismarck.
And then we're going to play our game in a second. So we play this game on the show. Guess the ABV.
So we're going to guess the ABV of your beer. I'm going to say it's probably 12.5%.
I'm going to go 10.5.
Nigel was closest at 12.75.
Whoa,
it's good.
You've been going high lately, so I went on your trend.
You should always follow me.
I did that earlier.
And then appropriate.
Would you like to guess the ABV on our beer?
What do you say? Bourbon
oak aged smoked vanilla porter.
I'm gonna say that's 11.5.
I'm gonna go 9.7.
The actual retail ABV, 8%.
There you go. It's both over, but okay.
Over.
Did you even guess? Well, you were looking.
Well,
at it.
I read it, so I can't
really
guess.
guess.
I mean, that's
Stupid.
that. Look, I cheated a lot of things. I won't cheat at the ABV game. I hold that sacred.
Because why? Because why would you?
That's a sacred game.
So Jay, tell people, if somebody said who is J.C. Williams, what would you tell them?
He's a guy,
He's a guy.
I'm just a guy.
Yeah, just a guy from Connecticut, not Delaware.
Right.
I don't know. I'm a beer fan / sort of a beer writer. I don't know. I've been drinking craft or good beer or whatever you want to call it since like the mid 2000s. I got into it through home brewing. I wasn't much of a beer drinker before, and then I kind of just my friend made like a Belgian wit. I think it was like a Hoegaarden, however you say that clone.
I think it's Ho.
I think that they say who over there. That I think we say ho.
Well, we've made it into Ho.
America.
We're already on appropriation again.
Right.
America steadily improving everything. That was sarcasm. Then I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I kind of started getting into home brewing. And then I kind of stopped home brewing because it's a lot of work. And I moved, and so I didn't have as much space. And then, but that didn't stop me from drinking. And so I drank a lot of Belgians at first because IPAs tasted like hippie socks.
By the way, I want to cut that clip.
Is there a beer named Hippie Socks, you think?
I don't know. Sorry, dirty hippie socks. You have to get the sweat.
Even better.
Right.
Even better.
So look, this is a dare to all of you brewers out there. Dirty hippie socks. Your next IPA.
Someone's going to do it. It's got to be like a West Coast IPA, like a real OG triple IBU. Makes your tongue buckle on itself.
I'm sorry for this, Melissa Cole, but it needs to be really hoppy.
Yeah, Melissa Cole does not like the word hoppy, but we digress.
So
we
go
don't
on.
like things. Sorry, what?
I said, go on. You were describing who you were.
Who I was. And then I got into stouts, and then eventually I worked my way into New England IPAs because once they were there was fruity and more fruit forward and softer notes, if you will. I got into that and then burnt out on that and got into West Coast IPAs and then fell into beer writing after I was a copywriter for a decade and then kind of fell into beer writing after the copywriting thing stopped. And so,
right on.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you came back to the IPAs after saying you wanted something else because they tasted like dirty hippie socks. You came back around to the IPAs?
Yeah. I burnt out on New England's because there are a lot of good ones and there are a lot of mid ones and then there are a lot of whatever below mid is.
Yeah. And
then I was like, okay, I'm kind of burnt out. And then once I had a traditional IPA, I was like, oh, I taste this and that caramel and the pininess isn't so piney and
right.
Yeah.
So what got you into because we love the there's always a journey for people who start homebrewing. How did you get into that?
My friend Andy, the one who made the Hoegaarden clone, got me into it. So he's like, oh, it's really easy. And it's like extract brewing, which is very easy, but your product is not as good as all grain. So
yeah.
I got into that. And that was fun, experimenting, coming up with my own ideas and being like, oh, what if I did a wheat beer, but I threw in mango, see what happens. And
right.
So, a lot of trial and error.
How many homebrews did you do before you decided this is not for me? Because I'm with you. I've been on some homebrew days, and I realized, you know what? I got enough guys who can do it. I don't need to add to the fray.
It was probably I think I made 10, and then I just moved, and I didn't have space or the equipment, and I'm slowly trying to get back into it. I have a friend locally who homebrews, so I've joined him for a couple of brew days, which can be very, very long.
So you want to be brewing again?
Yeah, but as a hobby and when I want to do it, not
because you have to.
Yeah, I think that becomes the thing where people start homebrewing and they're like, oh, now next week I'm going to do this, and the week after that I'm going to make this, and you're like, why do you want a third job that you actually have to pay for instead of? So
that's fair.
That's a fair statement.
So out of your 10 homebrews, what was your best and what was your worst?
Oh, the worst was the ones that exploded. That was the worst.
Easy choice.
Well, you can't drink those.
Yeah, so you have to pour them out in the pouring rain. So like I had them in the basement. I was like living with a friend, and like I heard like poof, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I was like, I kind of ignored it, and then like went back to whatever I was saying. And I heard another one. I was like, all right, let me go check out what's going on. Until like there was like a shattered bottle, then another shattered bottle. So I was like, I guess I have to dump all these. So it was pouring rain that day, so I went to the backyard and poured them all out. So that was like a ginger. It's like a ginger lemongrass wheat. It was a very good beer when it was not exploding. It was like the second or third time I had made that. And then one I really liked making was, it was kind of a cross between, it was like an imperial wit / triple. So it was like a triple, but kind of had like the spiciness of like a wit.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was like 15 years ago. So that's all I remember.
So you go way back.
Yeah.
So, you did the homebrew thing. Obviously, you're a craft beer drinker. Do you remember that beer that you were like, oh, this is different? Is there something that really caught your attention back then?
The two that always come to my mind when someone asks me that, Duvel, like the straight up just, that one I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on here. This is, that was pretty good. And I think it was Bell's Double Cream Stout was the first one that I was like,
Bell's. Yeah.
Oh, I have to hunt this down. I have to find and I had a friend who lived in Delaware, ironically, where Bell's was distributed.
Delaware, and, not where you're from.
Not where I'm from.
Yes.
No disrespect to Delaware, but all the disrespect to Delaware for being confused with Connecticut.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah. You're the first state. That's all you can really say. And you're a tax shelter or whatever. Anyway.
I think that's the first state shade we've had on the show.
Well, we've had city shade.
Well, yeah, but I bring that.
St. Louis. But we haven't had state shade.
Missouri fighting.
St. Louis.
Yeah, he's kind of persnickety about
only the baseball fans.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like either team, so fight it out. I like my team, and that's it.
What is your team in Connecticut?
My team in Connecticut. No,
are you
I'm
Boston
a Mets
fan?
No, I'm a Mets fan.
Okay.
Yeah. People just say that, they go, oh, okay, like they feel bad for you. Like
No, I was just curious, like, if you're in Connecticut, what's your pro team?
Oh, it's split right down the middle between like Yankees, Red Sox. Like it's almost like 50-50. And then there's like a little sliver that's Mets fans. Like who...
No, I'm going to give props to the Mets fans.
Why?
Well, look, I'm a Royals fan from the 70s and 80s, so I hate the Yankees.
Okay, fair.
Right.
That's fair.
And then why would you ever like the Red Sox?
That's true.
So there. See, that's why I say Mets fans, good on you.
So fun fact about that, the Duvel that you love, the brewery we just came from they have 23 of their own beers, and the only other guest tap they have is a Duvel tap.
Tap.
Yes, and it's a special. It's a special tap. It's one of 4 in the world.
Wait, were you at Boulevard?
Well, no, Boulevard has one.
Okay.
There's one here at Grains and Taps. Shout out to Grains and Taps. And my understanding is there's one at Duvel in Belgium, and there's another one someplace in the United States. So it's a very particular tap, and the keg is very particular. The keg of beer is not even metal. It's like this plastic bubble with a bag in it. It's some crazy ass shit.
I had no idea,
dude. Have you ever had that beer?
Well, I've had the beer, but I didn't realize.
You need to show.
I didn't realize all of the things behind it.
Yeah, you need to ask them to show you what's underneath. That sounded weird, but you know what I'm saying.
Definitely.
I mean, I usually try to have a few before I ask that question, or at least give them a few.
Well, there's that. So yeah, if you ever come to Kansas City, we'll make sure you get it. But there is one at Boulevard. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, one of our friends moved to Kansas City last summer. So
really,
we're due to visit, or my wife is.
Well, I mean, will she let you come with her? What the hell?
I mean, does she like you enough to bring you with you?
Yes.
She could just drop you. She could just drop you off with us. We'll take care of it. It'll be fine.
I mean, I would probably kind of just go do my own thing because sometimes I do that when we travel, and it's fine. And everyone's happy. I have a very supportive, loving wife who's in the same room as me right now. So
hi, wifey.
Hello.
Is she making sure you don't say anything crazy? What the hell?
Yeah, she has a gun out.
She's got she's ready to censor you.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of like things you're not allowed to say? Is she holding them up?
No, she gladly supports my shenanigans and wildness, so to speak.
Well, if she brings you with her, we live next door to a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you get around and do the tour.
I mean,
Cool.
there's Boulevard, but there's way more things
There's
to do.
a whole lot more.
Yeah, I'm not that. I mean, Boulevard's great, but I would want to see all the players in Kansas City.
Yeah. So, what city are you in Connecticut?
I'm in let me make sure I say the right state every time. Good work, Nigel.
You know I'm right. I'm like I just wrote that to Connecticut, not Delaware.
I live in Norwalk, Connecticut, which is next to Stamford, which people only know if they're wrestling fans because the WWE is based in Stamford. It's like an hour outside of New York City.
I could have sworn that M. Sauter lives in Norwalk.
She lives in, I think she lives in New Britain.
I don't know.
I feel like
Norwalk just sounds very.
I feel like he's correct.
He probably is because he lives there.
Yeah,
So not Delaware.
Yeah. So what's the beer scene like where you are? What's that like?
it's pretty good. There's like some heavy hitter, not heavy hitters. What am I saying? There's some great breweries, and there's like I'd say like 10 like great to solid breweries, and then there's like a lot of kind of just trying to do with the trends, kind of just keeping up with the trends. Like, all right, we have a ton of hazy IPAs, we have a ton of fruited sours. When winter comes, we'll roll out our 15% peanut butter brownie cheesecake beer, which is fine. Beer's great because there's something for everyone.
By the way, I want that brownie cheesecake stout. I want that year round.
Oh, Omnipolo.
They
can make your dreams come true.
Oh, that's a great brewery. So, if people were coming to your area, where would you tell them to go?
If they're in my area, which is Fairfield County, I would say Nod Hill is very good.
I've heard of them.
Kent Falls is very good, and that's for my part of the state. Overall, I would say New England Brewing Company is very good. I like Counterweight a lot. Fox Farm is very, very good. That's where M works at Fox Farm.
That's why I know that name.
Yeah, they're a great brewery. So come out this way, eat some pizza.
That's what she said.
That's exactly what she said.
Did you call her before?
Did you guys have a little meeting?
Meeting?
Yes, we met at the Connecticut Beer people of Twitter. We met.
How big is that club?
There's two of us. Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious. How did you get into beer writing?
I was going to ask, dude. I was about to ask that same question. Quit.
We're in our heads again.
Get out of my head, bro. Go ahead, Jay. My bad.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
So it's just weird when we do it.
I was a copywriter. I wrote a lot of marketing material for a company for many years. And so I was writing every day. And my lovely wife, now ex-girlfriend. I
need to refer to my wife that way. You're my ex-girlfriend.
That's actually brilliant.
I'm not sure if I would survive that, by the way.
Well, if your wife has a sense of humor like mine, she's like, oh, haha, silly Jay. She works for a wine magazine, so she was like, "Hey, do you know anything about Italian beer?" And I was like, "Oh, there's this, and this." Like every beer dork. If you ask them one question, they'll like give you this oral essay where they're like, "Oh, blah blah blah." You're just like, "I just asked you one thing, yes or no question." Anyway, like I'm doing right now. She asked me if I knew anything about Italian beer. Sure, and I said, "Yeah, okay." There's this. She's like, "Oh, do you think you could write like a thing about it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Like I could write a quick, brief synopsis of like Italian beer, the state of Italian beer."
And then he wrote 6,000 words.
Oh no, God, no! Even I would get sick of my own voice, like writing 6,000 words. Like I think I said this already. Like nobody's gonna read this. They stopped after the 1,000th word. Anyway, yeah. So that's how I started, and it kind of just went from there.
So, is that kind of what you're doing now? Are you a freelance writer, and you're?
Yeah, I mean, a freelance writer is just always like professionally unemployed, it feels like. Sorry, did I bring the pod down? No one's left.
Look,
I'm an old newspaper guy, so don't worry about it.
Oh, gotcha.
And
I'm always in fear.
Trust me, I've worked freelance a lot of years, and you're exactly right. I'm a freelancer, and that could mean any number of things.
Exactly. Yeah,
that could mean this was a good day or a bad day,
Right.
or a bad year.
It's a very broad painting, but I so freelance writing. But now I'm actually working for one of the aforementioned breweries, Not Hill, as a delivery driver. So I get to drive all around Fairfield County in Connecticut and dish out beer to stores. So that's what I'm doing during my days.
But you're still surrounded by beer, which is always good.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about being surrounded by beer. By the way,
I mean,
I'm just kidding. Can we just take that in? Let's just everybody take a moment, take that in.
Let's
surrounded by beer.
Let's take a moment for a mystery beer.
Wait, Mr. Beer like Meisterbrow?
Mystery beer.
Mystery
so
beer.
Welcome to the next segment of our show.
Yeah, this is the mystery beer bag, and this bag was procured from a golf tournament, not a tournament, a course
somewhere.
It's even better. Good.
And we actually saw the gentleman this evening who did it.
But we're not going to let him tell the story until we have him on the show.
So I'm trying to get him on the show, and he's a bit reluctant. I'm like, bro, we need to tell the story. Don't tell me the story. I want to do the story when you come on the show. Anyway,
wait, you're trying to get him to do a story about procuring a bag on camera and on record?
Trust me.
Look, it's from 1986. I think it's fine.
You know, we'll blur his face out.
There you go.
And look, I actually think
the voice.
I think I know which course it came from. And that course no longer exists.
But you might be wrong.
We don't like to talk about that.
Well, you don't like to be wrong. So mystery beers, we keep it classy, brown paper bags. And Nick gets
pinky out.
Pinky. That's how we're doing that. Pinky out. Nick gets to open it. Now this one.
So what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
It's not Smooj, is it?
It is. It is. Here, we'll hold that.
Well played.
It's a very distinct can, so that's the reason why I guessed.
It's a tropical vacation hard seltzer smoothie. I think it's our first seltzer on the show.
Possibly. That was a terrible
seltzers with Nigel coming next year.
Hey, but look, we healthy. It's gluten free.
It's gluten.
Never mind.
And dairy free.
And
as a seltzer should be, right? I mean, wouldn't all seltzers be dairy free by the?
I think the
definition?
smoothie might imply that there's lactose in it.
Yeah, before you open that, roll it because it's going to be thick, right?
I believe so. I've never had one. I've only seen them on the internet.
No, roll it across the table. Yeah.
No, not like just a little.
No, this is a game we play.
Okay. It's like that game you play in the cafeteria with like that football made out of paper. You're gonna kick it through the. Yeah, there you go.
Hold up the uprights.
We need to bring that back. Definitely need to bring it.
For those of you not watching the video, you need to be watching the video.
I mean, you hate on the video when I plug the video.
Well, yeah, but just today. Today's the exception that proves the rule.
Oh, good Lord. So Jay, that tell us again what that beer you're drinking is, and kind of describe what that is. It sounds amazing.
It's an imperial stout, just aged in rye and bourbon barrels. I don't know how long it was in the rye and bourbon barrels, but it's pretty goddamn good. Like,
and I see you got a fancy glass.
We rolled that, so that's a horrible pour.
No, that's the way it looks, bro. That's not a horrible. That's the way it looks. It looks like
it just looks like that.
What's so we guessing the ABV on this thing? 5.2.
All right, I haven't looked.
I haven't looked either.
I'm gonna go 7.9. No, that's a 7.9. I already said it.
It smells amazing.
I bet it tastes great. If you like,
I'm gonna go an even 6. I gotta find it on this can, by the way.
That's just already separating. Look at that shit. That's delicious.
Whoa! The actual retail ABV, 5%. We were all over.
Yeah, always aim high. Dream big.
Oh, I think you said, I always say I'm high.
Oh, I said aim high. I would never always say I'm high.
I thought you said we're all on the same high.
Wow.
By the way, it's a whole new show. Get High with Nigel.
Right after Seltzers with Nigel.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's the very special after school episode. He and Blossom.
This is good, but I couldn't drink the whole thing of that. That is very smooth, delicious.
It's good, but I'm gonna even have trouble drinking this much. I poured a little extra on there.
Yeah, this is one of those things we don't need a bottle of water to rinse this glass out.
Right? Yeah,
it's gonna ruin the rest of the beers.
Yeah, you gotta hand wash that.
Is anybody in the kitchen? I don't see anybody out there.
Was it too sweet?
So
it's sweet, but it's it's not super sweet, but it's thick.
no, it's good. It's just not beer.
Coats your tongue.
And it's you can see it's kind of mostly foam.
This is a breakfast drink.
Kind of like that guava.
Yeah, I mean, I want this in the morning.
Nothing's stopping you.
A little brunch. This is perfect beverage.
Yes.
So tell us who you've written for and what I mean. This is a dumb person who doesn't know questions about writers. I mean,
yeah, because storytellers are always different.
Well, I don't know how like you write an article. Is somebody saying you need to write about a particular thing? I have no idea. I mean,
usually you just pitch. You're like, I have an idea about a thing. Are you interested? Yeah.
Is that the way it works? Really?
I mean, that's the short version. Yeah, pretty much. You email
I have a friend
editor.
who always makes bad pitches, and like he gets so depressed. I'm like, well, stop doing bad stories.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, there are stories that you think might be interesting as a writer, but like,
right.
Well, the publication is like, but can we get people to come to our site to read about like 800 beers that you would like to drink if you were on the moon or whatever?
So, what stories are you looking for when you want to write?
Now I just try to find more interest. Like that's the other thing. Like you can, as a writer, like you're trying to like drum up like ideas for yourself to pitch that you're interested in and you think are important, but also someone else will think is important and interesting. So one story I'm kind of working on now is about pairing beer with Caribbean food or Caribbean food. So, because I think like a lot of the things when I see pairings, like it's always like Kolsch with like grilled chicken. It's always like, really
right. We like
boring.
What's the point?
Well, and I feel like we're just trying to replace wine with beer, right? I mean, it's the same story.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean but I think that's also like cocktails too. Like I feel like everything is kind of like you're trying to highlighting the same things on different vehicles, like whether wine, beer, spirits, whatever. Like
it's the same crowd.
No.
I'd say no. Beer, wine, cocktails, totally different crowd.
Yeah, those are three different like audiences. I mean, there may be overlap.
So I'm weird that I like them all.
I like them all too, but I think there's a distinct.
But I think when you're going, I think when you're going, this is the thing that pairs with grilled chicken. This is what pairs with your steak. I feel like that's the same people that are going to go for the wine. I mean,
no, I think you're wrong.
All right,
but I think there are beer people who like are interested in pairing. Like I know I've said something about a beer, and someone's like, "What would I pair it with?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like
a glass.
Like I've written stuff, and someone's like, "Well, this beer, like, what would I pair it with?" I was like, "That was not in the article. Nothing I wrote in that article was about what you should pair it with." I was like, "There's a book that tells you a whole bunch of different things to pair with." And he was like, "I don't want to read the book." I was like, "All right."
He tried to hand me the rest. I'm like, wait till you get to and you have to drink the foam because you got to empty the glass because we got to drink more beer.
You might have to throw that glass out.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean it out with another beer. That's what I'm gonna do.
That might not be bad.
I don't even wonder what the hell that is.
I poured a little too much of the.
You think a coffee ale will clean out that glass?
Oh my God! Sure. What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, we have nothing else to clean it out with, unless we're going another mystery beer.
Well, we're not taking a break.
There's no editing or.
By the way, one of the rules of this show, we don't edit.
Oh wow!
We've edited one
time,
and that was
wear pants.
Well, look, just don't stand up. You're fine.
Right, that's why I'm sitting. Nothing gets by you.
So after the wife was like, "You want to write about this Italian beer?" Did the light bulb go off? It's like, you know what? I can write about beer because had you written about beer before that?
No, but I used to write about very boring things for my old job. So it was like once I could write about something that I like, literally do not give two shits. Oh, sorry. Can I swear?
Absolutely.
We didn't go over the rules. You can swear. You can burp.
Yeah, remember we encourage burping.
And you see you have a beer, so you covered rule number 3. So
I only burp when I chug. So.
You're a chugger.
Oh well, then look, we need to
send him this Smooj.
Send me a Smooj. I'll chug it. I don't care.
Look, that just sounds dirty.
Oh, it's
Send me a Smooj.
It sounds dirty. Chugging a Smooj.
Yeah. That's I'm gonna.
It's a Friday night in Norwalk. No, I don't know.
Wow, that's not Delaware.
Exactly. Never Delaware.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. So I went from my newspaper career to doing marketing for commercial real estate.
Ooh, that sounds
so like
good.
if you can write shit about buildings,
basically.
Hey, here's a new industrial building. What was it?
It was bank accounts for college students.
Exciting.
Yeah. It's like watching paint dry on top of grass growing. You know?
So it had to be cool though that you delved into the writing about beer and you were a beer drinker. I mean, there's probably some people out there writing about beer that really don't really care, but you're a beer drinker, so that's kind of right in your wheelhouse, right? Yeah,
it was a different perspective because I feel like it was kind of like being a fan of a TV show. And then you write about you write for the TV show, and then you're kind of like in it, and you're like, oh, this is different from this side of everything. Because I don't know, I feel like the perspective of the beer drinker versus like beer writers is like wildly different. And then I feel like I kind of felt that the more beer writing I did, I was like, yeah, okay. And then you watch the beers you watch people get excited about, you're like, okay, well, that's cool.
Do you feel like that was your kind of, as you learned more and you got into it, that's like kind of your inner snobbiness that we all get?
My snobbiness has never really been inner. Like as you ask my wife or my mother, they're like, oh yeah, he's always been a choosy person or picky, or not a picky eater, but like, no, that pizza's not as good as our pizza, or
right.
I like this record. If you don't like it, you don't know anything about anything. Like really dumb shit. But yeah, like the snobbiness has never lived inside me. It's always been not a badge of honor, but close to the surface.
So I want to talk about one of the articles, one of the pieces you wrote, and you wrote about Fresh Fest.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I've read your shit, son.
Fresh Fest glass right here.
Sorry about that.
So was that 18 or 19?
Oh,
do you remember?
I think it was 9. I think it was 19. I think.
Okay. So you were there in 19?
No.
Oh, you weren't. But you've never been.
No, it was like an article. It came out before the fest.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, this thing is happening. Blah, blah,
gotcha.
Blah, blah, blah. But, no, and I thought about going this year, but then I went to Chicago for a baby shower. No, it was a cool baby shower.
You chose poorly.
Yeah, I took Nick to Barrel and Flow this year. He lost his damn mind. Oh, was that a baby shower? Is that a thing?
A baby shower at a brewery?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Andres and Emily. Yeah, it was at a brewery. So I was just like, this is like Fresh Fest.
You know what? I can't hate on them for that.
What brewery was it at?
It was at Metropolitan.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I think they're like more of a lager forward brewery. But then before that, so it was a very whirlwind trip. It's like I landed at 7:00 the Saturday night, had dinner with like some friends, went to the hotel, passed out, got up the next day, ate an Italian beef sandwich because I was in Chicago and trying to enjoy the local cuisine. And then I was like, I have like an hour-ish to kill before the baby shower. So I went to a brewery called Maplewood, which is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I went there, had 2 quick beers, then, went from there to a brewery for a baby shower where I had more beers. And then left at 7:00 that night after a lot of beer and pizza.
Nice.
So tell us about, I know you've written for a bunch of different publications. Tell us who you've written for.
I've written for Wine Enthusiast. I've written for Cuisine Noir. I've written for October, RIP. I've written for, what was I? There's another one on there. I wrote, thank you, Edible Queens, which wasn't about beer.
What's your wife's name?
What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Layla.
Thank you, Layla.
Thank you, Layla.
They say thank you, Layla.
Shout out to Layla.
Yeah, Layla Schleck.
That may be the name of the episode. Thank you, Layla.
Layla.
Thank
the
you,
name of the episode.
Also, thank you, Shayla.
From Delaware.
From Delaware.
Thank you, Shayla from Delaware.
Now that's a good beer name.
That's what I'm saying. So I noticed you're drinking that stout out of a wine glass.
No, it's actually a glass from Trillium. I got it in a.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I won a razzle, like, I don't know, a long time ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Bro, you're gonna have to take that foam down. That's not. You need to take it to the head.
You know what this is? This is like the end of a sherbet float.
That sounds good. Yeah, just.
But he tried. He kind of tried to rinse it with that fucking. What is that? Is that porter? What the hell is that?
What do we got here?
Oh, it's a
coffee ale.
A coffee ale.
It's bourbon oak.
Yeah.
Cold brew. It's Mooncat cold brew coffee ale.
Dude, what you got to do? You got to pour some in there and swirl it around and get that shit off of there because that's going to fuck up the next beer.
Well, yeah.
Look, mine's kind of clean. Oh, good. That's fucking.
I brought a backup glass.
Oh, you did?
Just I didn't know what I was.
I've got one behind me, but I didn't want to make Nigel jealous.
I'm not going to be jealous. I can make it work with one glass, sir. Look, that's terrible, isn't it? Look.
That's actually not bad.
Some smoothie.
That's a cuvee. That's a cuvee.
He's not even good at lying. He's like, this is really good. I love it.
So
I love it, man. It's not bad.
So let's talk.
It's good. It's good.
Let's talk about God, Pastry Town, where I met you.
Oh, what a day that was! That was like the last good time before everything shut down forever.
That's a decent burp. It was. It literally. It was so crazy because I went to Fresh Fest 19, and then he and I right after Pastry. Now, for those who don't know, Pastry Town is Other Half Brewing's beer fest. Fucking ridiculous. Pastry, stouts, pastries, and everything,
wrestling.
and
wrestling. Wait, were you at Pastry Town?
He was not.
Okay.
I was not.
Literally the week after I came back from Pastry Town, that's when we decided we were going to do a podcast.
Nigel says,
okay.
"Hey Nick,
Nice.
I got shit I want to say."
Yeah. So
someone listen to this. Wait.
Somebody, please.
That was Nigel's pitch for the show, by the way. I got shit I want to say.
And looking back, I don't know about you, Fresh Fest, aka Barrel and Flow, and Pastry Town, those two beer fests were, I mean, ridiculous. I mean, Pastry Town, I have never seen anything like that. You remember, it was that 2-story building.
Yeah.
It was like it looked like it was 150 yards long.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was such a what made you go to that? Had you been to that one before?
No. So my friend Julian, shout out to Julian, was coming up. So he lived in New York, and we became friends from through Facebook. I don't know however long ago. And so he used to live in New York. Then we were like, oh, this is great. We're hanging out. He's like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I was like, thanks. Finally get a friend and beer, and he moves to Atlanta. So this is good. So he was like, I'm coming up for Pastry Town. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll meet you there. And that's why I went, because I enjoy Julian's company, and I like pastry stouts too. Even all those pastry stouts. There was a lot. Actually, you know the shocking thing about the day was, I think it was it Moxa or Moxa, however you say that, from like Northern California, had a really good Pilsner.
Was it like the lone Pilsner in the entire thing?
I think so, but it was such a nice break from just assaulting your.
You remember they had some pastry seltzers and shit? It was some weird shit.
Yeah, they had everything. It was wild.
Well, look, we're ignoring the real question.
What's the real question?
So there's a picture of you and Nigel.
Sure.
Did you see that picture when I posted?
I did, yeah.
Nigel has face paint. Where's yours?
I don't. I think I'm not that into painting my face, so I respect everyone's right to do that. But
but Jay, this is the thing about it. I've never had my face painted, and I didn't think I was into it, but it was free, and I was like, "Well, I'm here. Why the hell not?"
Well, and you know what Nigel says: if it's free, it's for me.
Well, Yeah, go for it. I was just more interested in drinking more beer because
You know what?
900 breweries.
Yeah, shout out to my homeboy Blake from Fringe here in town, because he and I went, and we might have had a Friday night that really, when I got to Pastry Town, I was like, well, this ought to be interesting.
What'd you get into Friday night?
We found this dive bar in Brooklyn. Oh, and then we went to another beer bar because his buddy's an actor, yada yada yada. And it was just one of those things where it just turned into a shit show because you're out of town, nobody knows your name. Right. And
look, I will say this now that I've learned, Nigel's a good travel buddy.
Oh, I bet. He seems like he's up for everything.
Walkabouts with Nigel are a good idea.
Fun fact, though.
And a good podcast title.
Exactly. So fun fact. Yeah, I'm out of town. Nobody knows my name. So I thought. So Friday, we get to town. We're at the other half. There's a big beer release going on. We're at the brewery. We're outside. It's pouring down rain. Blake's out there smoking a cigarette. And this guy is walking by with just like this case of beer. I was like, bro, you need some help? Just fucking with him, right? He stops. He's like, nah, I'm cool. He looks at me. He's like, you're Nigel from Kansas City. I was like, oh, goddamn, I'm in New York. Somebody knows me.
I gotta go.
I'm out.
But no, that was I'm hoping that thing happens next year because it was I've never seen anything like that. The amount of breweries and I tell people, there was wrestling involved. They're like, what do you mean? Then I have to show them you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Well, there's a ring and
well, no. Nigel comes back to town and he's just carrying his phone around showing video of wrestling.
I had to show people what was going on because I mean, I don't know who at other half decided that was a thing, but it worked.
Yeah.
I thought it worked. And for, another fun fact, we thought there was, so that was right before, the coronavirus, right?
Yeah. Everything. Yeah. That was, again, the last good time. It was like,
before COVID ruined everything.
Literally, if it was the next weekend, it probably would have been canceled.
Yeah.
But there was, they had all the EMS around, and apparently there was this EMS, and on the back of their jackets it said Corona. But we thought it was
Hopefully that's
Corona.
just someone's name.
Yeah, it was just a town, Corona, New York. They were just there as EMS. But we thought, they've already got a task force.
They're set for this shit. And little did you know what was coming.
But let's keep it real, though. I was probably 5,000 people, and there had to be some. 2 weeks later, Jay, I was fucking sick as a dog, bro.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. And so that was before, anybody was talking about Corona, and knowing what the symptoms were. I was like, I probably had that. I was probably an early adopter. Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to
be.
I
was in the city the weekend. So I was in the city 2 weekends in a row. So my friend had a birthday. So we did hit up a bunch of breweries in like an afternoon and then whatever, called it a day. And then the next weekend was Pastry Town. And I was like, I must have it. Like, there's no way. I was in a million places around a million people and didn't get it. But knock on wood, I was okay.
You're here now. That's what matters.
Yeah. Right. You ready for another mystery beer?
I'm always ready
before you ask your next question.
Well, while you're digging it out, so are you working on a cool new story? While you're whipping it out.
I'm just trying to put the Caribbean food beer pairing one together. Like, that's the best cool new thing I can come up with.
Have you made that pitch yet, or are you still?
I've made the pitch, but I think I'm currently in the back and forth honing it down phase, which is
just an extra bag right
fun.
there. I found it. A bag within a bag.
Oh, is that? Never mind.
Well, do you want to guess what brewery this is?
Just hold it.
I know what it is. It's Revolution.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Death Star?
Death by Cherries.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Those stouts are so good.
Yeah, we had one last show.
Part of their Deepwood series.
We had one last. What was Death by what last time? It was Death by something.
Bombs?
No.
Ooh, no, but I want that one.
That one was good. It was 2 years ago, I think.
They had a
Revolution Brewing. If you're listening, we would really like a Death by.
You remember that barley wine they had at Barrel and Flow?
Barrel and Flow, that barley wine.
What was the barley wine? What was why are you guys talking about not saying what it was?
Oh my God!
It was
was amazing.
It was 16%
or higher.
that was not boozy. It was just nice. And they only had a couple of beers. Revolution.
They had two things. They had their collab and they had that
and
barley wine. And that barley wine, I mean, it was really good. It was amazing, but I did not believe it was going to be the heavy hitter that it was.
And that was early when we had that shit.
Have you guys been to Chicago?
No, not yet.
We haven't taken the show there. Yeah.
We've been talking.
Well, I mean, either the show or the two of you. Either way,
yes.
It's
on our list because we need to go hang out with the Afro beer chick.
We've had Shalonda on twice.
Yes. So
okay.
She's in.
She was our first repeat guest.
Oh wow, that good, huh?
Her and her husband, yeah.
Her husband was on with her the second time
because they do a bourbon podcast as well,
which made me really fall in love with them.
Yeah. So what's it called? The Neat Pour.
The Neat Pour.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've never listened, but I've seen it.
You should listen to it. It's a shit show.
Oh, okay. I love shit shows.
Well,
that's really what we try to strive for, actually.
Welcome to this shit show.
We wrote down on our whiteboard when we were playing the show. It's like shit show. Well, that was our goal.
That's it. Got it. Sold. Printed. Go to Fobab. I've been to that fest, and that's also a really
a
great fest.
Shalonda talked about that.
Yeah,
Fobab. It's all barrel aged beers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. I wasn't expecting that thing to be that dark. That's what she said.
By the way, Death by Cherries. Are we going to do a little guessy guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess like 13%. I'm gonna
guess. I'm gonna go 14.5.
You ready? Your actual retail ABV? 12.5.
Oh, I'm so bad at this game.
But it's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
There are no losers. Sure.
Oh, that's tremendous.
My God.
That is tremendous.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you
By the way, that's the leader in the clubhouse tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really? Beat Smooj? I can't believe that.
Look, I know this is going to come as a shock to you in Delaware.
It will. I almost fell out of my dogfish treehouse.
Oh my gosh. No,
that is tremendous.
Yeah, their barrel game is so good. Like, I don't know. It's almost.
But that's not sneaky.
No, it's just is what it is.
Yeah, that's not sneaky. You know that's a heavy hitter.
No, I think it's pretty hidden. I get the cherries like
the cherry is out front.
It's like look, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's like those cherries. Like the first time I went to New Orleans, right? This is probably who knows what year it was, 96 or whatever.
1962.
Okay, rude. I was not born.
It just ended.
Right. You get caught in a rainstorm on bourbon, and you end up in one of those places where, they've got the cherries like soaking in the Everclear.
Oh, good.
That's what that reminds me of. Like just cherry goodness. Because they're good.
They're out front. I mean, the cherries. That's not a sneak around.
No,
the cherries are there.
the old sneak around.
that ain't a reach around, John Candy.
No. So Jay, what
good reference?
Do you have a we talked about you kind of gone the gamut on beers. What's your go-to now as far as like drinking?
I don't really have a.
Please say hoppy.
I don't really. No. I mean, I love upsetting people or upsetting them, not on purpose, but just through existing or whatever.
That's the best answer ever.
Have like a go-to. Like this summer, I drank a lot of lagers just because it was hot and it was like I just wanted to drink something that wasn't going to blow my palate out and I could have more than one of. So I don't really have a go-to. Like I still love imperial stouts. I love a good bourbon barrel stout.
Yeah.
So you go to a new brewery. What are you doing? You walk into a new brewery.
So sometimes I like to just try to play it safe. Sometimes I'm like, all right, let me get the Pilsner to see if they really know what they're doing.
Fair.
That's
not
a
you move.
That's fair.
But sometimes, like, we went to a new brewery last weekend, and I was like, everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna get like the Belgian Pale. I'm gonna get like the Marzen, and I was like, fuck it, let me fuck it up. I'm gonna get like the double dry hop New England to see see what they're doing. And I got it, and it was fine. It was nothing mind blowing. It was just like, it was a double dry hop New England beer. It was just New England IPA. Nothing crazy.
I will say this year,
I like the crazy shit. Like I want to know what's the crazy shit they're doing. That's what I want to order.
Right.
This year, I'm not a Marzen, Oktoberfest. You know, those are fine, whatever. But this year, I really made an effort to be. Let me go to every place I went. Let me just try them, and you know, I was not my favorite style, but you know, here in town, there's been a lot of good ones. But you know, fuck a pumpkin beer.
Except for
what's coming down.
Except for what's our exception to the rule?
The exception to the rule is
Southern Tier.
Is Southern Tier's
Pumpkin.
Rumpkin, the one that's aged in the rum barrels.
You might like Two Roads, Rosemary's Baby, because that also sees some time in rum barrels.
I like it just for the name.
Just for the name.
Just for the name.
Yeah. It's actually pretty like I don't like pumpkin beers, but like when I would come across that at like parties, I'm like, I'm gonna drink this one. It's gonna be my one for the year, and it's fine. And halfway through, I want to quit because it's like it's already
because it's not pumpkin.
Right. It's allspice.
Spice profile. Yeah.
It's allspice.
And let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. The elephant in the room.
Who
the fuck is eating pumpkins? No one. If you look, white people, let's keep it real. If you're making a pumpkin pie, you got to doctor that shit up to make it work, right?
Right. I mean, everybody knows sweet potato pie is the superior pie.
Let's keep it real. Today I had
hang on. I just want a moment of silence for sweet potato pie.
As you should.
Can we just? I mean,
that's one thing you guys have not stolen.
Look,
we're working on it. We're working on it.
Give us time. We ain't going anywhere.
Look, I can take a sweet potato, throw it in the microwave for like 8 minutes, and eat it. You can't do that with a pumpkin.
No, but sweet potato is the most glorious of all root vegetables.
Pumpkins are not meant to be eaten. You know that.
No, I'm still on sweet potatoes. Why are we back on pumpkin?
I'm trying to do something positive here.
because people are doing these beers, right? And I'm like, no.
But they should call them allspice beers because that's what it is. It's allspice.
Okay.
It's allspice and nutmeg.
Spice flavoring.
It's that's what you're buying at Starbucks, right? You ain't buying pumpkin. You're buying allspice and nutmeg.
That is not what you're getting at fucking Starbucks. You're getting fucking high fructose corn syrup. and some fake ass pumpkin flavor.
What's what I'm saying? It's allspice and nutmeg.
Pumpkin flavor number 47. Just like pumpkin.
Have you tried fest beer? Any fest beers, Nigel? Because those are usually a little drier and not so like. The Marzen I had last weekend was like, oh, this is that sweet.
Yeah, there's a KC beer here in Kansas City that they're all German. Everything
okay.
So yeah, they kill it. I mean, even their ingredients are from Germany. They don't fuck around.
No.
So shout out to KC beer. So yeah, a fest. I like a fest beer.
Okay.
More than I do like them others.
I get it.
You know, if it's done well and I know about the style, we've talked about this. I'm gonna show it love.
There are very few beers that you ever say are bad. Like you will respect the brew.
Yeah, I mean, if something has some,
it may not be your jam,
but if it has some like weirdness going on, like that first one we had, it grew on me.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't what I expected. It didn't match the description.
Is this the honey? Is this the vanilla bourbon?
Yeah, it just didn't match the description to me. That's the thing. Is like,
what did it taste like?
It was really thin compared to the description,
but it was boozy.
Yeah,
it was boozy.
It was cough syrup boozy.
Yeah. Oh, like hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like that weird kind of kick that cough syrup, like a little Robitussin in it.
Oh, no.
Right? You got a broken arm? Pour some tussin on it.
It's good. I like the references. These are good references.
Yeah. You know, sometimes he's good. You know,
he's good for something.
When he pregame,
comes in ready.
Comes in hot.
Yeah.
Hot as a motherfucker.
Out of the bullpen. It's like Dan Quisenberry.
Whoa, a little KC reference there.
That was for you. I hope you like
that. Little submarine delivery there.
Exactly.
You ready for the next mystery beer?
Well, I will be.
Guess I should crack another one.
Well, you should.
Yes, you should. The answer to that question is always yes.
Well, I will tell you this, Jay. Our last guest, they just did the film One Pint at a Time.
Oh, okay.
And that when we had them on last time, they had 3 beers on deck.
Wow. I mean,
they were fun.
And they were ready. Because you know what it is. You got to stay ready to be ready.
Yes.
It's true.
That was episode 50. They were ready to celebrate.
Yeah, last episode was episode 50.
Yeah, if you stay spicy, you don't have to get spicy. That's my motto.
I'm going to steal that shit right
By
there,
the way,
bro.
that's another beer name. I feel like we've done 4 beer names tonight.
So, I had to break out a Barrel and Flow collab. And I've been saving this one because this one, you're going to love this.
Were you saving this for me?
Well, for us. It's us. What we got there? Just look at that can art, though. Hold it up to the camera.
Hang on. I got to get up to the camera.
Yeah, you got to show the can art. That's super dope.
Is it the...
Yeah, spin it. Show everybody. Yeah, spin. There you go.
Oh, that is nice art.
Yeah. So the nice thing, so Tavor had like 15 of the collabs that you could order, right? And every one of the collabs, which that's why I love about Barrel and Flow.
Is this the one we had?
No, we have not had that one, sir.
No, but didn't they have this at the festival?
Possibly.
I got to go get an opener. I'll be right back.
Okay, right on.
There we go. That was weak.
So tell the kids what we got there. A dog?
Ooh, is that our first dog guest?
No, I'm going to say no.
Okay. This is a collab with Crown and Hops and Black Calder.
So you remember they were right next to each other?
They were right next to each other. The Blue Peach Fruited Goza Ale.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
It's with blueberry, peach, vanilla, cinnamon, coriander, and black lava salt.
So now you're going to have to reread that again for Jay.
Sorry.
No. Bro, trust me.
No, look, you're going to want to hear this.
You think you're the first guest that has stepped away to do some shit? Absolutely not.
Look, this ain't a high-class affair.
Fair enough. But I didn't wear my tux.
Ooh. Can you go change? Can you do a change?
Wardrobe change.
Yeah,
that would be a first.
Oh, damn it.
So listen,
this is
listen to this.
This is a collab, Crown and Hops and Black Calder. The Blue Peach Fruited Goza Ale with blueberry, peach, vanilla, cinnamon, coriander, and black lava salt.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
This wasn't the one that we tried.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't know. I don't think it was. Jay, I feel like you just broke out a bottle. What do you have there?
I may have. It's Fox Farms Witch Meadow Black. Witch Meadow is their like imperial bourbon barreled imperial stout that they release like once a year, and they usually have like one straight up version and then like a variant that they like kind of play around with. And I think this one is aged in bourbon and rye barrels and has smoked coconut in it.
Ooh, you're breaking out the good shit on the Beers with Nigel podcast.
This might be my last podcast because after this, no one will ask me to be on. So.
It depends. Is Shayla from Delaware still listening?
She's feeding the dog. It's fine. You can walk across the floor.
It's fine. We like.
By the way,
we like guests.
Say I love Layla. I'm just joking with the
tell her she can come wave and say hi. It's fine.
Do you want to come wave and say hi, or
because now everybody's like, who the fuck is Layla?
At Layla Schlack on Twitter.
That's interesting.
I really like that.
Do you?
I do.
Even after the Smooj?
Well, look, not everything's going to measure up to the Smooj.
Yeah.
Why do I feel dirty every time I say that?
Because it is dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, Smooj is a weird word. It's like almost onomatopoeia where it sounds like you can hear the smoojing happening when you say it.
It's kind of like spooge.
It's exactly like
or
splooge.
Or splooge.
Either way, that's the same thing.
I'm just saying. I feel dirty. I feel like there needs to be a rating every time I say it.
Do you want to bleep yourself when you edit this?
We don't edit.
There's no edits. Even when you walked away, that's going to be
that shit will be in there.
I really get the salt out of it.
I really like. Well, and I like the salt.
It's very salty.
What else was in it?
And I'm not a salt fan.
I can't read that shit.
But well, you're old.
Well, you have the glasses on, not me, sir.
Oh, good one. Got him.
By the way, he tries not to act like he doesn't wear contacts, and sometimes contacts and reading glasses.
Only when I need them. Not right now because I got you.
Which is, I'm not wearing them because I can make somebody else read for me.
Hey, seeing I podcast co-host.
So blueberry, peach, vanilla, cinnamon, coriander, and black lava salt. Okay. And I'm not a huge salt fan. I just want enough salt to bring out, but I really like it on that.
I get a lot of
doses?
I do. I didn't think episode 1 I would have said no.
Hold on, Jay. Episode 1. He didn't like sours.
Episode 2.
Real sours or the fruity ones?
Any of them. So shout out to we have several female-owned breweries in Kansas City. And shout out to Courtney's Service. So when you come to Kansas City, you got to go to Service Brewing.
Fanboy.
He's the fanboy. I brought him some of those beers. He's been on the sour train ever since.
Oh,
it's true.
It took one episode.
It's true. So he doesn't know.
He's about to find out.
I didn't pay attention or care much about beer before this show. But I drink bourbon, I drink rum. When there was beer around, sure, I'd drink it, but whatever.
But you probably wouldn't drink good beer.
Not a lot of it, because I drank a lot of bourbon.
You didn't know better.
And so I had a sour once during a pub crawl.
But what kind of sour though? Sour is it's a wide spectrum.
Right. I don't remember.
He didn't know.
I don't remember.
Did it make the teeth, the enamel on your teeth come off?
I don't even remember.
Sours.
It was during a pub crawl.
He's got wooden teeth. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
George Washington.
I'm an old drunk man. Whatever. I just remember that during this one pub crawl, somebody brought me a sour and I didn't like it. So when we did this show, when Nigel said, I got shit to say, let's do a podcast. And we sat down for episode 1. I'm like, yeah, I don't like sours.
Okay, but you've come around.
But then episode 2, he brought me some good sour. Well, actually, you know what it was?
He didn't even come around. He fell into the vat.
It was Alana who brought the slushies.
Shout out to Alana. Yeah, you're right.
In episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
She brought the slushies, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, he's in. He's all the way in now.
Gotcha.
Jay, let's put it this way, bro. When we went to Barrel and Flow Fest, and they do the Friday night bottle share.
Oh, Jesus. That was magical.
I mean, see what I'm saying?
There were beers just kept appearing.
Beers.
I thought we were done. The table was empty, and then I'd blink, and there'd be 6 more beers.
Yeah, and
it was a magic table.
I'm gonna say this. That's probably the most black people he's ever been around.
Well,
and look at him.
I'm gonna say this. It may not have been the most black people I've been around, but it's the only time in my life where I've been around beer. I've been around beer, and I've been the minority.
Tell me another time you've been around with that many black people and you were the one of 5 white guys. It's never happened in your life.
I've been in New Orleans and Chicago
and
St. Louis.
That don't count.
You didn't play a lot of pickup basketball growing up?
Brent, look at me. Do you think I played a lot of pickup basketball?
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know, right?
You never know. I've played against.
I'm just saying, but
all shapes and sizes. And
I will say that, I remember there was a moment I was like, I'm at a beer event, and me, the bearded guy in a shirt, in a t-shirt, is the minority, and it was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be opposite.
It was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
there were a lot of times during that weekend where I'm just going to stand over here in the corner and let this shit happen and watch. Because it was pretty fucking awesome.
But then they kept dragging you into it. Nick, we got to drink this beer.
Look, I swear to God, there was a table. It was magic. Beer just kept appearing.
Yeah. So put it on your calendar next year, bro.
All right. You know who's good for making beer keep appearing, even though you're Brandon Montgomery?
He was there.
Yeah, of course he was there. But he's always oh, look, I got one more bottle. Oh, look, there's one more bottle. You're like, what do you have, this giant magic bag? Where
there was also a guy with a fanny pack, and Hennessy kept appearing.
You have his card. We got to give him the show. Yeah, he had this like
we called him white Henny.
Yeah, he had this little like it's like a man bag, and it's like Hennessy white,
like
the shit you can't get. And he was going around. We can't even make this up, bro. I forgot about that.
It was seriously.
Don't you have his card?
He was like somewhere. He was like this. He had like this camera bag
full of Henny,
and it was just it was only for his bottle of Henny, and he just like all of a sudden whip it out and like, here you go.
Yep.
And that was his thing.
Hennessy white is great.
Huh. Is it the bottle share, or is this just that barrel?
This was during the bottle share.
Oh, okay.
But there really was this one table. I swear to God, it was sorcery.
Yeah,
like
bottle shares are like that.
We'd all be standing around drinking, and it'd be empty, and we're like, it's 1:00 in the morning. I guess we're done. That's it. And then you turn back around, and there's 6 more bottles.
Terrible.
Yeah,
time.
I was really disappointed.
It's only terrible if you have to drive or walk very far.
That's the great thing about this festival.
The bottle share and all the symposiums, all in the same hotel.
Oh, there you go. You gotta get to the elevator in one piece.
Yeah, well,
or just get to the elevator.
Well, depending on the floor. I don't know if you're the guys
War Cloud
out of LA.
Shout out to our buddies at War Cloud.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah,
they can party like no other.
Yeah, we got to hang out in their hotel room. You can imagine how that.
I won't ask any more questions because I don't want anyone incriminating themselves.
Don't ask questions.
No, I mean, there was no shenanigans, but it was
still,
fun.
Not a public record.
Is this public record?
I don't know. It's public.
It is posted for the world.
It's recorded. That was a terrible joke, though.
There are no terrible jokes.
No.
Oh boy.
So Jay, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry you're going to get a better guest who's got better answers.
Bro, this is the thing about our show. We had a wide swath of beer people. It doesn't matter. Trust me.
Brewers, writers, drinkers, influencers.
Somebody's.
Yeah, no.
Talking wives. We like wives too.
Maybe if I get to be a repeat guest, maybe I can drag her on camera for it next time. But I think she's.
So look, let's if they're doing Pastry Town next year, bro, I'm there.
Yeah, you're not going this year in 2 weeks or whatever.
They're doing it again.
Yeah, they're doing it. I think it's the same day as Fobab. I think it's next month.
Really?
Like in a couple of weeks.
I did. Nah, I'm have to Google that. Are you going?
I'm not going.
Okay.
Probably just.
You're gonna wait for the COVID to pass.
If you and Nigel both go next year, will you get face paint?
No. But you should go to Harlem Hops. Next time you go to New York City, I will do a mild plug for Harlem Hops because Kevin always rolls out the red carpet for.
I'm the fan of theirs. I've got a Harlem Hop shirt. I've been trying to get them on the podcast.
It's always tough.
I know people are busy, but you know what? I just keep pounding. That's weird, but you know what I'm saying.
That's not what she said. By the way.
No, never. I wasn't even going to say that.
But definitely Barrel and Flow next year. You got to go.
All right. Hopefully there are no more baby showers. But yeah, it's on my list.
You know what? Pittsburgh. Tell your friends to quit having. No, Pittsburgh's great.
Tell your friends no more babies.
No more babies.
I tried that once, and then he had another one right after. I don't know if it was to spite me or if it was his wife's idea. I'm not sure. But I was like, listen, you got 2. We got to cut it off right here. He's like, I think it's a good idea. I was like, I also think it's a good idea. And then he's like, guess what? And I was like, God damn it. But it's fine.
You need to tell your friends to listen to you more.
Yeah.
You know what? They should listen to me. They're leading pretty great lives, and without my input. But I'm still here to be a dispenser of bad advice and unwanted counsel.
Look, if you can't give bad advice, what's the point of being their friend?
It's true. That's all. I'm only here to make you do bad things.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. No, my bad things are like, we should go get burritos. We just ate, but we should go get burritos. Let's go do it.
I mean, I don't disagree with that though.
No,
that's the thing. So Jay,
his friend's like not a drinker, so he's like he's really into food. So like I'll go visit him, and it's like, oh, it's 9:00. We just had dinner, but like in an hour, would you like to go to this gas station to get tacos? And I'm like, yeah, I could eat some tacos.
Well,
look, when can you not eat tacos?
At a gas station.
Yeah.
Look,
you should always go.
Look, the worse the venue, the better the tacos, right?
And they were. There was
Jay,
a line.
Jay, when you come to town, there's a barbecue place at a gas station.
We're taking you.
Yeah.
I've never had real Kansas City barbecue. So.
Sure. Bro.
Oh.
You and the wife, come on.
Bring Shayla from Delaware. And we're getting some KC barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to.
Not the hype shit, the good shit.
Is there a hype one?
They're all hype.
Yeah, bro. That's a whole nother conversation.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I had somebody asked me the other night, what's the best barbecue in Kansas City? I'm like, well,
my answer is always, it depends on what you're ordering.
Touche.
What's Kansas City known for? Ribs?
Burnt ends.
Burnt ends.
What?
Burnt ends.
He's like, what's that?
No, I said
burnt
Did
ends.
you hear when I said ribs and you said burnt hands? Is that a cut?
Burnt ends.
Oh, burnt ends. I've never had proper burnt ends. Everyone always says like, oh, they have burnt ends, and then they never have them when you go to order them. It's
because you know what it was? It was the shit they gave to the homeless.
No, it wasn't to the homeless.
No, it was the poor people who would come to the back door.
But it was part of the cow
shit
they didn't use. It's the front part of the cow.
But that's like oxtails and like every great like peasant food that becomes great, and then certain people decide to jack up the price.
Look,
hey Jay,
if it's good, we will appropriate it.
Ain't no white people eating oxtails.
Oh, you want that?
Maybe you're neck of the woods.
Shit, I will eat me some oxtail.
Love you. Not you guys. I don't love you. Look, my wife. I mean, you guys are cool.
I didn't find it. I discovered it.
Cool.
Just call me Chris Columbus. I discovered it.
I discovered it. It's on someone else's plate. Gotcha.
Right.
No,
I'm planting my flag.
Ridiculous.
Fucking squatters, man. So Jay, if people want to find out about you, follow you on social media, tell them where they can find you.
Just follow me for occasional tweets at Shot of Insolence on Twitter. Sometimes I say stuff.
Oh my God, I freaking love that.
I don't tweet a
Shot of Insolence.
I don't tweet a whole lot, but I do reply more so. So
I think you should tweet more.
Everyone says that.
Nigel is a big fan of beer Twitter, though. Nigel pushes beer Twitter a lot.
What a landscape of treachery, and it's like Game of Thrones, and everyone is just.
Well, it depends who you follow. Don't follow that bullshit.
Oh, I mean, I usually don't follow it, but it doesn't matter if you don't follow it because it still works its way into your feed.
Yeah,
it's fine. I don't care. Like I'm not emotionally involved in like any of the
me neither.
Drama. I'm just like, oh, that sucks.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So I know you're on Instagram as well.
I'm barely on Instagram. I don't think I've posted anything in like over a year, just because social media just is draining, and it's like, oh, I drank this beer, I'm at this place, and it's just like, one day I'll come back because I have things to promote.
But if they want to follow your writing, can they follow you somewhere?
I would just say follow my Twitter because I post all my stuff through Twitter. So
every 4 years.
Yeah, every 4 years. Once I write something, I'm like, new Cherry.
We'll come back in 4 years and have you as a guest.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I'm gonna start retweeting all your shit.
I feel bad for everybody who follows you, but I'm not going to stop you. So.
By the way, I don't really want to brew beer, but I'm going to brew a beer just so I can call it Shayla from Delaware.
What's it going to be?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Tough question.
Yes, it's cask ale.
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't. I just
maybe she can have some input. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll let her decide.
Yeah, do you like figs? She likes figs.
Okay.
Absolutely. Why not? I can appropriate that.
Do you like Negronis?
Figs, Negroni.
Who doesn't like Negroni?
Fig Negroni. I'm pretty sure white folks already had that. Figs and Negronis.
I'm pretty sure we got that.
Yeah, you can have it.
But I'll appropriate it. Look, you know what? I'll appropriate it again.
We're going to take back sweet potato pie. You get figs and Negronis. How about that?
No, they don't have sweet potato pie. They're still fucking with pumpkins.
But somebody's going to figure it out. It's like collard greens.
Greatest root vegetable ever? Sweet potato.
I mean, that's you.
Look,
talk to your people.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. Greatest root vegetable ever. Sweet potato.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
Look, there's even a song. Go look up Shiny Ribs. He's got a song.
I'm sorry, who?
Shiny Ribs.
Ribs.
All about
Is that a person?
Now you've got homework.
I'm assigning homework.
Is he down with Tech 9? I don't know anything about Kansas City.
He's from Austin, Texas. He's got a song.
Shiny
Sweet Potato.
Ribs.
It's a love song to
Shiny
Sweet
Ribs.
Potato.
Okay. I think you hit me to that one time.
He also has a song called Donut Taco Palace.
We're getting all this. This is why we don't pregame.
Look, this is why you do.
I got 2 words for you. Austin, Texas.
Fun fact, though, the new Tech 9 single, The Rock, is on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard he was a fan.
Apparently.
Like that's apparently Tech 9 is his workout jam.
Okay. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, it's very aggressive. Anyway, we digress. Where can they find us, Nick?
You can find the Beers with Nigel show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or you know what? If you got one of them thar Alexa devices, hey Alexa, play the Beers with Nigel podcast.
Stand by.
Stand by.
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.